Boys, big question here. Homeschool and all of the kids are doing virtual learning and stuff right now. Could you have survived that? Because I'm hearing all these awful stories on the news every night about kids and getting headaches and screen time and all this stuff. And I really thought it was I hated school so much when I was growing up. There's no way I could have paid any attention during virtual school. How would you guys have handled, think about 8th grade, ninth grade, 10th grade you having to just do everything on the screen with your teacher?
Oh, it sounds miserable. It does. I can't even imagine going through something like that. And there's this internal debate, me as somebody that doesn't have kids. It's yeah, I get it's better for kids to be in the classroom and learn better that way, but it's stop congregating them all together. We're trying to get through a damn pandemic, for crying out loud. So I hear both sides of that. But being put in that situation as a kid, being a senior in high school right now, you kidding me? That would be horrific. And then, yeah, elementary school, middle school, when, oh man, the way that you learn is so vital. And there's no way I would have been. I don't have enough of an attention span to sit in front of a monitor. It's hard enough for me to do that when I'm working from home as a 30-some-year-old adult. So as a kid, freaking forget it. I got Sports Center and Price is Right on all day. I'd be struggling.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Thinking back to basically my entire K through 12 career, I put in the most minimal effort I could to get great. I was a 3.0 student because it was there were always one or two classes I was interested in, and so I paid attention to those. But then there were 4 other classes I just didn't care about. So there would be a mixture of B's and C's in there to come together to look like I, was a well-rounded student, but really I gave as little effort as I possibly could. And I think if you remove the supervision of an in-person teacher, man, I don't know. I think that GPA would have dropped a few extra points. I don't think it would have been good.
Because the reason I brought this up is because my friend Christian has a 14-year-old. I forget how old Kay is. But anyways, he has a podcast called Cooler Than I Look. I love the podcast. But he was talking about his daughter and how all of a sudden they got calls saying that Kaylani hasn't been paying attention in virtual learning. She's not logging on to class. She's, making the screen black and just sitting there. And so then they started paying attention and they're having PE class, phys ed, over Zoom.
What?
And yeah, and he knew when that class was going on because I guess that was the class that she wasn't participating in because she's in her bedroom. And and they were yeah, she's not doing anything. She's just laying down, doing absolutely nothing. And I'm that's exactly how I would have been. I'm not doing Zoom. I'm not doing Zoom phys ed. I don't know if you're supposed to do the presidential physical fitness test in your bedroom. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing pull-ups in my bedroom. It's not happening.
Almost everything from PE growing up was group activities. Occasionally they'd be okay, you have to run a mile, you have to do push-ups and sit-ups and stuff. But 90% of it was group activity. So what do they do? Did your friend say what happens in PE class virtually?
No, they're stretching, they're doing yoga, they're doing Pilates, they do random stuff, but it's just
free fitness classes.
Yes. Yeah. They're doing free fitness classes via Zoom. And I just couldn't stop laughing at that. Cause I would be in so much trouble. My mom would get called every day. My mom would have gotten called just Daniel's not doing anything during Mr. Slovakovsky's history class. It's just, he's got a screen black. Or he posted it, or he put a picture of himself. Because that's another thing I think it's funny the kids are doing. They're just putting pictures of themselves, taking a picture of me right now in this background, and then just not, and just putting that on the screen.
Oh yeah, because on Zoom you can do animated GIFs as a background. So you could get 5 seconds of you just paying attention, with like your hand on your chin or something like that, and then just loop it.
That's like the worst thing though, right? This is almost easier for teachers to pay attention to each individual student more. Because in a classroom setting, they're turning their backs, they're looking this way, they're looking this way. You can pass notes, you can do whatever and be a little bit more. But I feel like on Zoom, it's all right there and they'll be able to pinpoint everybody. And I'm sure they can record and go back and check on who's doing what. Like that's an intense amount of supervision digitally that would be just a little bit like, yo, like I can't even, I'm just gonna be laying in my bed, like chill out.
Well, I've heard a lot of like the teacher, their role is just like constantly asking kids like, are you there? Are you connected? Is your internet okay? Can you turn your screen? Like, it's just like, if it's like a 60-minute class, like 30 minutes of it, the teacher's just like technical support.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I would have. No, I couldn't do it. So shouts to all the teachers out there dealing with this, and shouts to all the kids too, because it's got to be crazy that like a teacher, and I didn't even think about this Dan, until you said this, Dan, is that like a teacher could literally send my parents a video of what I was doing. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Good God. Well, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. I'm Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh, and it's the Halloween episode. That wasn't a Halloween question, but there's a reason why I didn't do that, because I knew we were talking Halloween this whole show. So we're going to talk Halloween candy, costumes, movies. Also, we're going to be talking, I guess we should talk Halloween music at some point too, because we're going to be saying about what we're listening to this week. We'll probably all just say Thriller, and that'll be the end of the 5-second conversation.
Yeah.
There's that. But we got a lot of Halloween stuff to talk about. So before we get to all of the Halloween fun, let's start it off with Brews Day. Christopher, get us started with Brews Day.
All right. Well, we're going back to back, the same brewery for me as last week. So I'm doing the New Glarus Brewery out of Wisconsin. But today I'm doing a little Staghorn Oktoberfest because it is the Halloween episode. So we're going to indulge in a seasonal treat while we talk about trick or treat.
I like that.
I like it.
And here's the
excellent choice.
little audio. It's a good sound.
It's
a good sound.
Good.
Mine.
Good sound, boys.
Wow. I feel like I am in Wisconsin. It felt it. It felt in my ear. I was like, whoa, half of me is in Pewaukee right now. It was just amazing.
I can smell the hay and the IPA all at once. It's glorious.
Incredible. My God, what a sound. What you got, Dan?
I didn't go a Halloween themed beer. I really should have. I have one, but I don't feel like drinking a 12% beer in the middle of the afternoon here today. So in place of that, I'm going to go with one of my favorite breweries as of late, Evergreen. They're just outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. They have a sour series called Sorbetto. And this is the number 11. They're all numbered. And this one is a sour with boysenberry, blackberry, blueberry, and yes, those little white things that you saw floating on that can. Marshmallows, boys. Marshmallows. So you've got a berry sour with marshmallows here, and it's wonderful. Let me tell you something. It's wonderful. You get all those tartness and sour from the berries. There's a lot of boysenberry there. The blueberry comes through strong. And then just a hint, just the right enough amount of hint of that sweetness from, you guys are, you're loving it.
This beer's got Steel City Dan written all over it.
Classic Dan. Beer for me, this is it.
Classic Dan.
Just enough of that marshmallow sweetness. It's really good. I've had a lot of other beers that are sours with marshmallow, and sometimes there's too much. It takes over it. But I highly, highly recommend the Sorbetto series from Evergreen. You can get it almost anywhere in a lot of places. But the number 11 throws the marshmallow in there, and it is delicious. Enjoy.
Dan, your descriptions, my favorite. I'm happy Brews Day exists because we get to drink during this podcast and because I get to listen to you talk about a beer. It's incredible.
One of my favorite things. I'm glad you could enjoy it as much as I do.
We just need to have you need to have like your own Instagram series on the Brunch Breakdown page where you just talk about beer. It's just you.
There we go. I can do clips. If you can follow me on Untapped, if you're a fan of craft beer, Untapped, I think it's probably Steel City Dan 22. Why not? You can get a glimpse of it there, and then maybe we just turn that into a little clip channel on the Brunch Breakdown, and I just break down the beers every weekend. It's intense. I love it.
The playlist will just be Dan drinks.
Right.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going with this week Ballast Point Brewing Company in San Diego. The last time Chris was in California, we went to Ballast Point, and Ballast Point's amazing. I love it so much. And I am drinking their Aloha Sculpin IPA this week. And mainly because I miss Hawaii. I don't know when we're going to go back there. I don't know when that's going to happen, but hopefully sometime soon. And I just love it. It's got hints of like pineapple in it, and it's just kind of like really fruity, juicy IPA, and I just love it. So Ballast Point, shouts to the homies in San Diego, and Aloha Sculpin IPA. So
I love Ballast Point. Open a can. And you can get Ballast Point almost everywhere, it seems. Like no matter where you are in the country, you can find it. So
yes, you can. Yeah, because I know they've like widened their like distribution and stuff, and so it's kind of everywhere. So if you can get your hands on some Ballast Point, do so. I love Brews Day. This is like
great.
This
Good
is my
choice,
favorite
boys.
thing.
Cheers.
Like,
cheers, boys.
Cheers. Love it. All right. Well, let's I feel like we just had, a couple drinks. So let's get stuff off our chests. Dan, get us started. Get it off your chest, man.
Well, in this segment, I usually get kind of angry at things and people. I'm going to take the Chris Gates approach. Going to go make a left turn. We're going to go positive.
All right.
And this is going to be something to get off my chest as a shout out to our incredible listener base and how they connect with this program, with this podcast. Last week in our opening statement, we talked about DD brought up, I've got a bachelor party coming up naturally, and we've got some planning to do, and we need some help. And boy, did our listeners come through way more than I could have imagined. Your suggestions were wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and list them off here just so people can get an idea of the wide array of locations that were suggested for my bachelor party location. Montreal, we had Austin come in 2 times, Seattle, Charleston, South Carolina, 3 times, Miami, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and a specific place in the Dominican Republic. It was very specific as a resort. So shouts to our buddy Boykin on that one. Nashville came up 3 times. Asheville, North Carolina, somewhere I have been wanting to check out a lot recently, came up as well. New Orleans, Mexico, Savannah, Georgia, Atlantic City, Toronto, of course, Las Vegas, Ocean City, Maryland, secrets to be specific, boys. We know what that's all about. And finally, Moon Township, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. Love it.
What?
Love it. That's longtime Chris and Dan podcast listener Pit Daddy chimed in with Moon Township because he wants to crash the party, and that's as close as it can get to him. So
there you go.
Big shouts out to all of our listeners. I don't know how we're going to narrow down this list. We got a lot of research to do and other cities that aren't even listed here. So we appreciate everybody's input into this. So we'll continue to keep you updated in the process, but this is where we're starting. We're starting wide. We'll continue to narrow that down. One of our close friends recommended that the listeners should actually choose once we're down to final 3. I don't know if we're going to take it that far, but shouts out to the listeners in the meantime. Thank you for all your suggestions and your help, and we'll keep you updated along the way. This is a very exciting part of the process and the journey for me. So, gentlemen, there it is. There's a lot of favorites on that list and a lot of ones that we've been to before.
Yeah. I mean, have any of them how do I mean, I know you're not going to choose one right now. But like anything on there stick out at you is like, oh, I hadn't thought of that one, but that could potentially be pretty fun.
I've heard a lot of things about Charleston, South Carolina, and I believe it came up on our Brunch top 10. And that kind of, so that wasn't really on my radar, but it came up 3 times. It was suggested there. Both of the Canadian cities, Montreal and Toronto, I really didn't have on the radar at all. And that might be weather dependent of when we go, because I'm definitely not going there if it's not summertime. So I'd say those, and I really never thought of anything international. So to see Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic and to get the specific examples that I got that we received on those were pretty enticing, and especially in terms of it being a very affordable party for everybody involved. So yeah, there's maybe a couple that popped out that weren't originally on the list.
Hey, it's not my bachelor party, but when you say like the DR and you say Mexico, I don't know. I got excited. So, but I'm going anywhere you're going except Moon. So, because I don't even think I honestly don't think my wife would allow me to. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going over for Dan's bachelor party. Where's that? Moon. She's like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. So, no, you're not wasting any of this family's money on Moon Township.
Right.
So, that's.
Maybe we'll slowly roll them out, and that will be unfortunately the first one that has been voted off the island. We'll do this American Idol style, and that's the bond in the bottom three that we got to send home this week, unfortunately. But appreciate the suggestion.
All right, well, I will go next. I will get this off my chest, guys. I miss my friends so much, including you guys. Even though I get to talk to you guys every week, I miss my friends a lot. And I miss my friends so much that I miss the friends of theirs that I don't like. You know what I mean? Because, like, granted, we are probably all of that friend to someone else. We're like, oh, yeah, I hate when Dee Dee shows up at the party. My God, Dan dances on speakers. I can't stand that guy. You know what I mean? It's like, so, you're that person to somebody else. But, like, I honestly found myself thinking of a friend who I'm like, I wonder how they're doing. I don't even like them. But that's how long it's been since I have seen my friends. And I mean, that's really all I had to get off my chest is I just miss my friends. So anybody who's in this boat where you're just like, I just miss seeing people. Because I think we all kind of have our quarantine bubble. We have like the people that we know are like close, whether that's like your parents or like, because for us, it's like my cousin, a couple of friend groups or whatever. But like, that's it. It's probably like 10 people might be it that's in our little quarantine bubble of people that we have. But like, that's all I've seen for 7 months. And, I just miss my people. So, be safe, but I miss my people.
That's a deep level of miss. Yeah. And it sounds like we're going to have a conversation when the red lights go off and we can have that off the air about
who is it? Who is it?
And then maybe it's going to be me thinking about like, oh, yeah, I might have a short list of those too. But yeah, it's getting to that breaking point, right? Where it's all of a sudden. And then when you see these people again, you probably embrace them. Maybe you try to rekindle that, get back on that level, right? And then that'll last a week and they'll be like, that's why I didn't like that person. That's right.
Yeah, because it's weird when you just like, when you think about how long we've been doing this, and it's like, we've been doing this for 7 months, like over 7 months. And it's like, we're, and then the weather's turning colder. So you see less people once the weather like turns a certain way. It's daylight savings is happening this week. So it's like, you're really going to see, I'm starting to be like, yeah, I'm not going to see a lot of these people until for a year. It's going to be just super weird. But, just had to get that off my chest. Miss my friends, even the ones I don't like.
We thought that too. We're like, we had a kid and like nobody's going to meet her until she's like probably 1. Like think of it. Like that's like I have like nobody in my family outside of my parents and my sister have met my daughter. She's turning 3 months in a few days. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Same boat. I feel you on that one. Chris, get it off your chest.
All right. Well, this works out well that I'm third because I have Halloween themed thoughts to get off of my chest, and this will transition us well into the rest of the episode.
Love it.
I have conflicted feelings about Halloween, primarily because like as a kid, obviously I liked just knocking on doors and getting candy and dressing up in costumes and stuff like that. That was a hell of a lot of fun. But now as an adult, like I don't want anyone coming to my front door. Like ever.
Yeah.
And so then like a holiday that is based around strangers ringing my doorbell all night really kind of makes me angry. Like I don't like that. Like I don't know about you guys, but we have people that drive through our neighborhood all the time, just like cold calling, trying to get you to buy like they want to redo your roof, and they want to redo your siding, and they want to help insulate your windows and all this stuff, to the point that like I sit in my desk here at the front of the house. I see these people walk up to the door. I look at them when they ring the doorbell, and I do not answer the door. I don't want to talk to people. Like if I wanted to talk to you, we would set up a time for you to come to my house. So if the doorbell rings or somebody knocks on the door and I'm not expecting it, I'm not coming to the front door. Okay. I really don't like that. So I have mixed feelings about Halloween coming up, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be weird. And now this year we have a daughter who's almost certainly going to be asleep by the time the doorbell starts ringing. I've thought about just putting a bowl of candy outside, and we're gonna maybe put a note that just says "Take 3 pieces. Please don't ring the doorbell." Like this whole door situation is really. I'm really worried about it. I don't like it all that much, and I'm not sure how this is going to play out.
Ooh, man. I feel bad about your neighborhood, Chris. I feel like you have such a lovely neighborhood. I didn't know it would be that annoying.
Yeah, but it's not my neighbors. Like we go on walks, we meet the neighbors. Everybody's great, super nice. It's great, but like, don't come to my door, unless I invite you.
Well, I hope more of your neighbors are how you're going to be, because I'll be driving up there and following the honor code and taking only 3 pieces out of your bowl. So thanks for the heads up on that. I just hope you got some good candy in there. We'll get into candy here in a little bit, but I'm kind of the same way, where I like specifically plan to be somewhere else on Halloween. I want to be out at a bar, at a party, hopefully, where I'm not home, where I don't have to deal with it all together. I think it's been 2 years as like an adult living in a house where I've been home on Halloween, and it's lights are out. No, 1 year I gave it out and I didn't like it. I hated it. I'm the same way with you. I don't want people coming to my door ever. So let alone that on Halloween, and them just like, I'm not there yet. That's old man Dan type of things where you're giving out trick or treats and stuff like that. And now that you guys have kids, you're probably still not, obviously, Chris, you're still not there. You still don't want to do that because your daughter's too young to take around to go trick or treating. So for me, it's about getting out of the house on Halloween, avoiding that as much as possible. You're never too old to dress up on Halloween. So enjoy it. Get weird, get funky, get weird. Halloween's the one holiday where we can all somehow like relate and celebrate it on an equal playing field, right? There are certain holidays that have religious ties to them. Other holidays like Memorial Day, which based on what the holiday is actually for and how we celebrate it is like completely opposite. Like, right?
Yeah.
We're like, it's the start of the summer. Let's get the grill out. But it's like Memorial Day. So I don't know, it's still a real holiday, but like Thanksgiving, Halloween, those are ones that everybody can relate to. So get funky, get weird. You're never too old to dress up on Halloween, and get out of the house and let the kids have 3 pieces of Chris's candy bowl outside the front door. I'm for that.
Hey, get here early, because all it takes is one selfish kid, and then there's no candy for anybody else. I'm not refilling the bowl. Once the bowl's filled, it happens once.
Do you have one of those Zoom doorbells? Because you should just like spy on kids all night and just start yelling at them like, it says 3, you moron!
We have a Ring doorbell, and that is a great idea. I did not think of that.
There it is.
Oh my God. But that's kind of just a cool way to scare kids, right? This kid comes up like, don't do it. Don't do it. But yeah. The bowl outside of the door is like my specialty. I have no desire to come to give the kids their candy on their own. Like, no, I'm good. The bowl outside the door, but I always put the sign up that says, take it all if you want. And they never do. It's never happened. And it makes me so mad because, I just want them to take it. Like, just take all of it, please. Because I put it out here. I'm like you said, I'm not refilling the bowl. Like, I obviously don't want this candy. So take the candy, dump it in your bag, and leave. Like, I need one brave kid, but no one ever does it. Like, because even times where I've been home and I've done it, I hear parents outside the door saying, okay, no, don't take one. Or they'll like laugh at the sign. I'm like, no, the sign was dead serious. Like, take it all with you. So no, I feel that. Well, now that we started talking about Halloween, let's keep going. Halloween candy. We are doing another one of our great only pick 2s. We're going to throw this graphic up. right now. We're going to throw it up on our Instagram, all of our socials, because we want to know if you had to pick only 2 candies for your Halloween out of these. We got the Fruit Tootsie Rolls, Nerds, the Hershey family of candy bars, Krackel, all that stuff. We got Kit Kat, Sour Patch Kids, M&M's, Skittles, Snickers, Jolly Ranchers, Reese's, Butterfingers, Whoppers, Starburst, candy corn, Milky Way, all that stuff that you see right now. Guys, only pick 2. This is tough. Only pick 2. Who you got?
Yeah, these pick 2s were always fun until this one.
Yeah.
And now it's real because that's a lot of good stuff.
It was hard just narrowing. Like, this was a narrowed down list of candies.
Sure.
Like, I was like, I can't just put every candy possible on here, but I couldn't get, but like, these were the ones that I was like, I feel like Halloween, you can't live without these things. Like, everyone has these in their bag. And like, some you hate, some you love, but like, there's more than 2 here that you want to be opening up as you sit on your floor with all of your candy.
No doubt. Yeah, you really made this difficult, and that's probably, with, like you said, without leaving some off, to make this list as tough as it is. But the first one that was like a for sure thing for me, it's going to be picked on every list that has candy, is Reese's peanut butter cups. We know I love the shapes, so I'm taking the pumpkin ones definitely for Halloween because they're better anyways. We've been down that road, but for me, taking 2, Reese's is certainly the first overall pick for me every single time. My second one, I was going between Twix and Snickers. And I decided to go with Twix because Snickers has chocolate and peanuts and Reese's is chocolate and peanut butter, and it's too close. So give me the Twix, give me the left Twix, give me the right Twix. There's nothing like it. I'm going Reese's and Twix. Give me the chocolate, baby.
God, this is so tough. I've been looking at this list for like 2 days. I still have no idea what I'm going to do. No idea. Chris, are you good? Do you know?
I do, yes.
Okay.
So my first pick is going to be Starburst because that's my like all-time. What's funny about that?
I don't know. I really should have seen that one coming because I know that you have this fascination with Starburst. I don't know why I didn't think that was coming.
Of course. Yeah, it's my all-time favorite candy. I don't know. I like if I could choose a fruit-flavored candy, if like you give me a fruit-flavored candy and a chocolate candy, I would probably almost always go for the fruit-flavored candy. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's because like you get so many different flavors of it as opposed to like chocolate is mostly just chocolate, unless like Dan said, sometimes it has peanut butter or something else mixed with it. But Starburst is my number 1. And then I have been really torn on this one between Kit Kats and Milky Ways. And I've gone back and forth about those 2 pretty much all day, but I'm gonna go and lean towards Milky Ways as my number 2 because wow, did I crush these as a kid? Like owning a fitness business, I am ashamed at how many Milky Ways I ate as a child. We would go to Sam's Club and get like the wholesale box of them, and I would crush like 3 a day, to the point that my parents had to like keep hiding them and moving them around the house, and I would just continue to find them and eat them. So based on my history of Milky Way addiction, that's going to be my number 2, narrowly edging out Kit Kats because I do have a soft spot in my heart for the wafer-based candies.
Boy, I think you just chose Mitchell Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes there, Chris.
Hey, Dan, I didn't ask for your feedback.
You're giving it. I'm giving it. Milky Way is the poor man's Snickers. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
Chris and I have had a Milky Way Snickers debate for old listeners of the Chris and Dan podcast. We're not going to go down that road again, but we've done it. We've had it. We got into it deep. We had a Twitter poll. I won the Twitter poll. So yeah, that's all I'm saying is Milky Way is the poor man's Snickers. And the great thing is that they're made by the same company.
Here's a question. Do you, when you make brownies, do you prefer them with nuts in them, or none, or no nuts. Because these are basically these are basically the same candy bar, but one has peanuts in it.
Yeah, right.
So
And I
how
think
do
the
you
peanuts
choose your
enhance this.
How do you choose your brownies?
I guess without peanuts.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It just got real serious. I felt the cold. You guys just stare at each other down.
There's history. There's history here.
You can tell.
Oh man. Well, all right. The two I'm picking. My favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids. Period. But I'm not picking it because I don't really associate that with Halloween because I eat Sour Patch Kids pretty regularly. Probably too much, and it's probably taken years off of my life a little bit. Or maybe I'll have a heart attack or I don't know, diabetes or something because of Sour Patch Kids. But anyways, I'm picking Krackel here because Krackel to me just screams Halloween. That's how I look at Krackel. I feel like the only time I ever have Krackel or any of those like Hershey's bars that come in that like variety pack that you get on Halloween, I only eat those at Halloween. So
I'm throwing this graphic back up here. So
yeah, please.
So
Krackel.
Just so we're clear, as you look at this graphic, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, or if this clip makes it to social media, Dee Dee chose the candy that didn't even get its own photo. It's like part of a photo. Krackel's in a photo with like special dark chocolate, which also nobody likes.
Krackel is great, guys. I don't know
why.
Good
Bar? Yeah, it's brothers with Good Bar.
Again, I didn't ask for your opinion, Dan.
Also, isn't Krackel just Nestle Crunch, just like the poor man's Nestle Crunch?
No, it's Krackel.
It is. It's poor man's Nestle Crunch, just like Milky Way's poor man's Snickers. Wow, I'm stunned.
I did not see that coming. To be honest with you, when I looked at when Dee Dee made the pick too, I didn't even notice Krackel was in there at first. So this is big news, folks. This is
huge. That's what she said. So wait. So what? Now I don't even remember what your first pick was.
That was all I picked. I picked Krackel. That was my first and only pick so far.
He said he wasn't going to do Sour Patch Kids.
I wasn't going to do Sour Patch Kids.
You were not going to do that. Oh, well, I can't wait to hear the second one.
Oh my God. I don't want to be abused here. All right. So Krackel goes with Krackel and none of you guys picked this, and it really kind of upsets me. Candy corn.
Oh, okay.
Give me the candy corn.
This is awful.
Give me the candy corn. Krackel and candy corn are Halloween.
You are just messing with us. There's no way you like candy corn.
Krackel and I love candy corn. As soon as I see a bag of candy corn at Target, I grab 4 bags.
Dee, I have a note that says also candy corn is absolute trash.
It is. It shouldn't be on this list because it's not candy, because it's sugar and wax and has no taste. Come on.
The candies that you want are all the ones that like when we were kids, tried to like trade to other kids.
Yeah, we traded with you.
That's the stuff that I like. I like candy corn a ton. Like I would eat candy corn at any time of the year. Like if they had candy corn at all year round, I'd have it all the time. It'd be better. I wouldn't even have it on this list because I think of it the way I think of Sour Patch Kids. Candy corn and Krackel. That just Halloween.
Shocked.
And maybe it does say something about me because Chris, you made a point that like we used to always give our candy to them, and it's like I never had a shortage of Krackel or candy corn. Ever. I always had it. It was always around. It's
becoming clear now. Yeah.
Wow.
It's all starting to make sense. But Krackel and candy corn.
I did not see that coming. I did not see anybody picking. Like I thought when we were done talking about these, we'd be like, "Oh, which one do you really hate?" And we would all say candy corn. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I was ready for that too, Chris. I thought we were all going to be on that ship with candy corn.
We'd all make fun of it together, and it would be a great time. And then Dee Dee had to ruin everything.
And then it could be a great clip and make it easy work. We throw it up on social media, and everybody'd agree with us. But nope.
Justice for candy corn. Okay. Why do you hate candy corn?
Why? It tastes bad.
It tastes bad.
That's
It
the
tastes bad.
fundamental problem.
I just don't understand how much you have so much hate.
Every 4 or 5 years, I'll see it and I'll be like, I'll grab like literally 2 kernels. I'll be like, all right, let's try this again. And I'll be like, no, this is why I don't like this stuff. Why do I do this?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Krackel is fine. Like I just didn't see that coming, right? Because that's really an off the radar candy, but it's not bad. But like candy corn is just not. It's just bad.
I don't like this abuse.
Well, different strokes for different folks, you know.
Yeah,
It's
I can't
okay.
actually get into other stuff in movies. Like, oh boy.
Oh, it's gonna get worse.
Well,
for
what's
you.
your okay? Well, let's. Chris and I think candy corn's the worst. Dee Dee, what's the worst thing on here for you that you're trading away? It's your first thing that you're trading away to other kids.
Oh, the thing I'm trading away. Oh, Jolly Ranchers. Gotta go.
Okay, all right,
Jolly
I'm
Ranchers
with you
gotta
there.
go.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, Jolly Ranchers are good, but like they're definitely tradable for something better.
Yeah, because that's how I feel about it. It's not that Jolly Rancher. I mean, Jolly Ranchers are fine. It's just it's fruit, whatever. But I just not the biggest fan of hard candy like that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, give you a little bit of props. No more abuse. I'm with you. I'm trading Jolly Ranchers too. By the way, watermelon Jolly Rancher, that doesn't taste like a watermelon. Get that.
That's very true. That is very true. Can I throw something out there that wasn't on this pick too, but just like was I liked getting it in my candy bag. It was a nice surprise with all the chocolate and other types of candies. Like I happen to like when you'd show up at a house and they'd like give you a bag of chips.
Yeah. Yes. I'm with you on that. I loved when I would show up with a bag of chips. And my house growing up, like anybody that goes to my parents' house on Halloween in Wellsburg, they'll have chips there. My aunt and my aunt would always bring over like the fun bag, whatever that box that has all the different ones in there. She'd bring it over, and then my parents would have that on the porch while they were handing out candy. Yeah,
I was a big fan of that.
Yeah, I don't hate that. I don't hate that. Not pretzels. I don't need pretzels, but chips. I can do chips.
Good God. Well, you guys let us know on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you follow this. Let us know the two you'd pick. And who's on Team Candy Corn? That's what I want to know. Who's with me? Hashtag Team Candy Corn. Because there's a lot of hate for candy corn. And I see it every year, and I just don't understand. And because I would honestly swim in candy corn if I could. I love it so much. I'd bathe in candy corn if I could. God, I love it so much. Wonder if someone has a candy corn beer. Dan, get on it. Find me some candy corn flavored beer, or make it.
I would try that. I would. I'd probably hate it, but I'd try it. I'll look for that for you.
All right. Well, continuing on in our Halloween episode, we've got Halloween movies, guys. Halloween movies. We're gonna rank these 5 movies. Dan, you put these together. What are the 5?
Yeah. Here's the disclaimer for everybody, because this is similar to our dessert rankings, right? These are not the 5 greatest Halloween movies of all time. That is not what we're ranking. We have a pre-selection of 5 that we are going to rank. And these aren't the greatest scary movies of all time. It's Halloween. Okay? Go at Freeform if you need a, problem with the Halloween movie selection, because that's what they're playing and that's what we like. All right? So the movies that we are going to rank 1 through 5 are, in no particular order: Hocus Pocus, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Beetlejuice, and Addams Family. Now we're talking originals on all of these. None of these reboots, none of these remakes. So the originals of all of these movies. A little bit of Halloween. There's a little bit of horror in there as well. So, gentlemen, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, let's should we all go through and do 5 through 1? We each do number 5 and go up that way. Is that how we did the dessert?
I think it is, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll kick things off, because why the hell not? Number 5 for me on this list is Beetlejuice. Again, it's not because I think it's the worst Halloween movie of all time. It's just number 5 on this list. We got a lot of Twitter reaction last time, so I'm trying to defend myself now. I enjoy Beetlejuice. I do. I think it's a good movie. As I've gotten older, it's just gotten a little weirder. I feel like I can't connect with it as much. Renona Wider, well, it was fantastic in it. Michael Keaton. How could you not love Michael Keaton? But as I've gotten older, I've just not liked it as much. It's just a little weird. And so that's why I put it at 5 on this list. It's a good Halloween movie, but not one that I'm stopping for every single time it's on. So Beetlejuice at 5.
I'll go. Number 5, Hocus Pocus. I don't like witches, man. I don't.
Oh,
I don't like witches. I don't like witches, man. I hate them. It's really that simple.
that's the only reason. That's it.
That's it. I just don't like witches. I don't like movies with witches. I don't, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, didn't like her. I don't like any witches. I just don't.
Oh man, what a good show.
No, I'm just not a fan of witches, man. Even though they're doing another Hocus Pocus that was announced like yesterday or something. So shouts to everybody who's excited about Hocus Pocus. And it's not even that the movie is like that bad. Witches, not into them.
Okay. That's fair.
Hey man, you like what you like,
Yeah.
and it's not witches. For me, number 5 is going to be Addams Family, simply because I've straight up never seen it.
Wow.
So
Oh.
this falls under the lengthy list of movies that Chris Gates has not ever seen, but probably should have seen. I've never really had a desire to see it. I don't really know what it's about outside of it's about a family that's named the Addams Family. I don't know anything about this movie, and I'm cool with that. I'm fine if I don't see it.
Did you ever see the old TV show?
My dad has tried to show me episodes of that, and again, I don't know, didn't do anything for me. So, yeah, it's number 5 based on ignorance.
Cool.
Fair enough. It's number 4 for me is Addams Family. I think it is a really good Halloween movie. I think it's cast super, super well. And who didn't have a crush on Christina Ricci when she was in like Casper and Addams Family, like at that age? Like, really?
Christina Ricci, fine actress, right? Like she's been in a lot of really, really good things. And I'm not saying that Addams Family isn't good. I like Addams Family, but Christina Ricci no, just no.
No?
Fine actress, but no.
As Wednesday Addams and then whatever the girl's name was in Casper?
I probably did a little bit after Casper. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, more so then, because when Addams Family came out, we were still pretty young. But yeah, I think it was cast really, really well. It's a solid Halloween movie. I watched the TV show, on Nick at Night or whatever. That and Munsters. That was the jam for a long time for me. That song still bumps. That's on the playlist this week, by the way. Now that it reminds me, Munsters is great, but Addams Family, good solid Halloween movie. Number 4 for me.
I like it. Number 4 for me. And I like this movie a lot, but when you put the other movies up against it, I couldn't. Beetlejuice. Number 4 for me. I love Beetlejuice. There's really nothing. I have nothing bad to say about Beetlejuice. I just couldn't put it any higher than this. But Beetlejuice, I love Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I've got Beetlejuice number 4 too. And I think probably just because I don't know how many times I've really seen it. I've seen it a couple times, but it's an older movie, and I don't know. I feel like the rest of the 3 on my list are just more prevalent. They're on TV more. I've seen them more in general. They're more I guess I can't say they have bigger. Beetlejuice has a cult following, but I don't know. It's just it. Like Didi said, it's fine. I like Michael Keaton, but
yeah.
It's number 4.
It's just right. Yeah, absolutely. That's fair. That leads us to number 3 on our top 5 of these Halloween movies. 3 for me is Hocus Pocus. I like Hocus Pocus. That's one that I think I've already watched 2 to 3 times in October. Shouts to Freeform. Appreciate that.
Home team.
It's on that station all the time, so you can always catch it there. But I still find it entertaining. Psyched for the reboot. I think it's just a different way of storytelling a Halloween movie, and it still connects to me this day. Book! I mean, you can't get enough of that from Bette Midler. Fantastic. Yeah. Hocus Pocus is a good quality Halloween movie. Number 3 for me on this list.
Solid. My number 3 is Scream. Number 3 is Scream for me. Scream's just classic, man. The Mask is classic. Everything is just classic about Scream. And it gave us a whole other genre of movie that, like, we didn't know existed, which was, like, the parody scary movies. You know what I mean? And we got, even the parody, like, Not Another Teenage Movie, all that stuff. So Scream was just great. And it's just so stupid that it's great also. Like, it's just, it makes fun of scary movies more than anything. But, like, it's just, I love Scream. So shouts to Scream.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have Scream at number 3 as well. It maybe it's biased because it came out when we were growing up, but I feel like it created in my opinion, started the trend of like movie comes out, everybody dresses like the person from that movie in like the following Halloween, because for the longest time after that movie came out, everybody had that costume, right? And now like we see like, we'll talk about popular costumes in a little bit, but like now I almost feel like sometimes there's a movie created and put out before Halloween so that people buy the, merchandise to like, dress up like those characters for Halloween. And like the opening scene, I remember being like on pins and needles, legitimately scared. Like that opening scene was for me, like one of the first times I'd ever been like totally like gripped from the start of a movie, like from second number 1. It was, I'll never forget that. So Scream's number 3.
That brings us to number 2. And my number 2 is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger. He's the one, he was like the creepiest one of these. Like these are the scary, right? The OG Halloween movies like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp. Chris, we've seen all series of those growing up in high school. Nightmare on Elm Street was really the one that I think maybe like freaked me out the most, because Freddy Krueger, you could like actually see his face versus like in Halloween and, Jason, everybody has a mask on. And he was just creepy and a different type of creepy character where he's not just like walking around like a robot. He was just way more creepy. This is probably Wes Craven's best film, and obviously there's many, many more Nightmare on Elm Streets after that, but still, an older film, but still very, scary and really, really job well done. 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, the highest ranking of anything that we have here. So Nightmare on Elm Street, number 2 for me.
We'll go to your number 1. Do that.
That leaves number 1. That goes to Scream. You guys are just talking about Scream. I think it's number 1 for me. I said Nightmare on Elm Street was Wes Craven's best film, but this is also a Wes Craven film, but it's different, right? Because of everything you guys talked about. It calls out old scary movies. It is dumb, but it's funny, but it's still scary. There's still like scary elements to it. I think it does what other scary movies did and does it way better. And it did create that like other genre of scary movie and not another teen movie and things like that you said, Didi. So that's why for me, Scream, because it has like all these different emotions and elements to it, is number 1 for me on this list.
I'm with you, man. I love Scream. But number 2 on my list, Addams Family. Here's the reason why.
Ooh.
Addams Family, because of all the things that Dan was talking about with the Nick at Night stuff. So like watching Addams Family on Nick at Night, I was super excited to watch the movie. My whole family was excited to watch the movie. So like when I think of like Halloween, I kind of think of watching that movie and watching that TV show. And also, this put it over the top. Addams Family Groove, man. MC Hammer. Addams Family Groove. Like,
I forgot about that, honestly.
Dude, Addams Family Groove. Put that on the playlist this week for sure. Yeah, Addams Family Groove. That was like the jam, and it still is a jam. So anytime I hear it around Halloween, I get excited. So Addams Family, number 2. And that leaves Nightmare on Elm Street, number 1. Because there's something about the way movies are made now, where it looks like they're on a set. Things look too glossy. Your street looks too good. Nightmare on Elm Street looks like your street.
Yeah.
It looks like my street. Like, it just looks like Freddy Krueger is walking in your neighborhood. And it, to this day, when I watch it, it still just freaks me out because of how real everything looks. Like, there's a scene that happens in like a laundry room, and it's just like, it looks like your regular ass house. It looks like your friend's house. It's whatever. Everything just looks very normal for such a crazy ass movie. And like, and to this day, when I watch it, it's like, some movies you can't watch like that. Like, you think about them, you're like, you like watch it, you're like, this looks stupid. This just doesn't look good. But like, some of the reason in that movie just looks like a regular place, and Freddy Krueger's a real person. And that's how I feel when I watch that movie. So Nightmare on Elm Street, number one for me.
I like that. I have Nightmare on Elm Street number 2. And like, I just echo all the stuff you guys said. The one thing I'll add, and you guys kind of mentioned, it was like Freddy Krueger like had a personality.
Right.
And I think that kind of like Dan, what you were saying, and even Dee, what you were saying, like sets him apart from the other villains in Halloween movies because of that alone. So that's my number 2. And then number 1, Hocus Pocus, man. Because you know what? I don't like to be scared. So let's talk about that. I hate scary movies. Okay. I don't like to like go to the movie theater and pay money when I know I'm going to have a bad time. So I don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Why would I waste my time having a bad time? That's stupid. Hocus Pocus is just like a fun, easy watch. There are these witches. They're kind of funny. They're kind of crazy. Though there's a plot line. I can get through it and enjoy it. And that's why Hocus Pocus is number 1. It's purely bias of mine because it don't scare me. I don't want it. I really don't want it.
I like that answer because honestly, it takes a lot for me to for me to watch a scary movie and go see one. Because I'm like, do I really feel like just jumping? Do I feel like being tense? No. So yeah.
I have a story about that. The last scary movie I saw in a movie theater was the Amityville Horror. It was a remake. I walked out of the theater halfway through, and I've never gone to see another scary movie in a movie theater. Because I was sitting there, I was petrified. I'm like, this is my choice. I don't have to be here. And so I just left, and that was it.
I'm kind of with you guys. For scary movies, like I can do the older ones, like some of these Halloween based ones, but the new age like horror and in scary movies that come out nowadays, a lot of it is really it's horror and stuff like that, right? It's a lot more graphic now. Like I don't want that shriek and it just why am my heart racing? I'm trying to be entertained here, trying to be comfortable. That just it doesn't really add up for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. It's the same. But is there any movie on this that we made? Is there any movie that you're like, there's one movie you could add on this? Throw it in there. What is the one movie that we left off? For me, it's the first Saw. That's really the only one that I'm like,
that's
the very
one.
first Saw movie. Because I saw it around how it's, because now movies kind of come out whenever they want to come out because of streaming services and stuff like that. So you get scary movies kind of like all year round. But like back when it was kind of like scary movies came out in October. They came out in September. They came out in October. And Saw came out around that time. And that movie, I've seen that movie once since. I don't want to watch it again. But the first Saw was wild for me. But that's the only one if I were putting something else on this list, that'd be it.
One that I would, and I struggle with this because I think it's kind of more of a Christmas movie than a Halloween movie, but like Nightmare Before Christmas, it kind of plays on both of those holidays, but I typically watch it during both holidays. So it's obviously not a scary movie, but I think it's amazing. And I watch it every single year for both Christmas and Halloween. So it starts with Halloween. So I'll consider a Halloween movie for that reason.
Yeah, as we were going through this list, I actually thought to myself, like, should we have put the movie Halloween on our Halloween movie list?
Right. I know. Yeah, I thought about that too.
So probably that. I also remember thinking Freddy versus Jason was a pretty dope movie because, like, they pitted the villains against each other.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. So maybe either of those.
But the list could go on. And I don't want to talk about scary movies for, 5 hours.
Because we left off.
Yeah.
If this,
So-
was a scary,
If you're
if this was the scary movie breakdown, we'd do that. This is not the scary movie breakdown.
if you're angry about our list, please let Dan know at Steel City Dan.
No, please.
Yes.
It was random.
Well, let's go with Halloween. Let's go to Halloween costumes. Dan, you talked about dressing up. I am not dressing up as anything this year. Dan, are you dressing up?
I am dressing up.
What are you gonna be?
I really struggled this year of what I wanted to be. I've been the Joker based on Jared Leto's Joker a couple of times. Gentlemen, actually, my time hop has been blowing up this week with the three of us and some of our closest friends as the Mighty Ducks. We did that for maybe 7, 8, 9 years in a row. I feel like that was one of my favorite, low key, but favorite costumes. I'm going to this like twisted ringmaster type of thing this year with a full face paint of makeup, this like crazy jacket, and a couple other props. So I'll shoot that out to you when Halloween comes around. But yeah, excited to get weird and dress up one day a year.
Chris, you dressing up?
No.
Okay, I just wondered. Didn't know if you were getting
dads though. Like I feel like you would start dressing up once your kids did if you were doing some sort of like family thing, right? But if this wasn't 2020 and you could go to a Halloween party, would you?
Yeah.
Or would you dress up at the Halloween party?
I loved going out to Halloween parties with our friends. Hell yeah. Like that was great. And I mean, I think Dee Dee mentioned this on a previous Brunch Breakdown episode, but we were always the Mighty Ducks. Like that's probably what I would dress up like. I have hockey gear and a Charlie Conway t-shirt. So that's probably what I would do. Man, I like all of like don't come to my door. I hate scary movies. All that aside, the thing I loved about Halloween was like going out with friends. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Halloween night. That's what sucks about this year. Because remember, like going into 2020, it was like everything's on a Saturday. 4th of July's on a Saturday. Halloween's on a Saturday. Christmas is there. And it's like as this year goes on, you're just like, oh yeah, it's on a Saturday. This would have been a huge year for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like
huge.
I would have been out for Halloween dressed as something. I'd have done something, but like we're inside. So I feel like Halloween is going to be a very big Instagram situation where people are going to have multiple Halloween costumes, which is kind of boring because one of my favorite parts about going out for Halloween, of course, it's like being with your friends, but I just love seeing how creative other people are. Because like there are people who really get into Halloween and like have insanely creative costumes, and I just love them. So, but yeah, let's get into this Halloween costume list on Google before I ask you another question about Halloween costumes. So, Dan, are you going to be a dinosaur?
No.
No? Not
Definitely
a dinosaur. Not. Okay. Are you going to be a witch? Because that is the number one Halloween costume.
Like, is that surprising that it's still witch?
Yes.
Or is that just...
It shows you how lazy people are.
It's lazy, right? Like, I feel like I don't see that many witches out. And like, do you really have to Google witch? Why is that still trending on Google? This is what it's based off of, for crying out loud. Why are you Googling witch?
Yeah.
That might be the funniest thing that's ever been said on this podcast. I don't know why. Do you have to Google witch? No, you don't.
No.
Have to Google witch.
I think it's just like stupid parents that are like, where can I get a witch costume? And they don't know.
But even that. Well, anyways, yeah, we're reading Google's most popular costumes list, and witch is 1, 2 is dinosaur, 3 is Harley Quinn, which has been, I feel like the costume for the last, like, when did that movie come out, Dan? When did Suicide Squad come out?
Oh man, that had to be 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that showed up in my time hop, and it was years ago. It's been a while, and you're right. And ever since it's been popular. It was obviously popular when it came out, and a few years after. But now with the Birds of Prey movie being out this year, it's obviously reemerging that it's 3 on this list.
Yeah, 3. Harley Quinn. Good Lord.
By the way, single
Rat-
guys, dress up as Joker and find Harley Quinn. Do yourself a favor.
Yes. Number 4 is rabbit. Number 5 is clown. 6, angel. 7, Fortnite. 8, devil. 9, ninja. And 10 is Spider-Man.
How do you, maybe this is me stupid, but how do you dress up as Fortnite? I thought that was a video game.
I'm with you on that. I when I read it, I was like, "For the game?"
Yeah, I don't
Let me
quite
tell you
understand.
something. Walk into a Spirit Halloween store. They have a section of the various Fortnite costumes there.
Oh,
So it's
there's
just like
characters.
all-encompassing.
Yeah, which
Got
is
it.
crazy. Also, you glossed over number 4. Rabbit. Please explain this to me. This isn't Easter. Who is going as a rabbit? I've never ever seen that. Like kids, adults, rabbit doesn't make sense. 4?
Okay. This is hilarious because every year when we were kids, my dad dressed as a rabbit.
No, get out of here.
Every year. That was like his costume. Yeah. So there's one person I know that dresses as a rabbit.
Gary.
Yes. Shouts to Gary with the rabbit, the classic rabbit costume.
It was
I've never
awesome.
seen, like, I don't understand. Rabbit. And guess what? I looked at all of our individual cities with this because you can break this thing down by city. Los Angeles, number 1, rabbit. Didi, you have some explaining to do. I need you to be every rabbit that comes to your door. I need to tally something.
Dude, I'm going to be on the lookout. I'm going to be scouring Instagram for rabbits because I want to know who are all these people who were Googling rabbit costume.
That one blows my mind.
Since we're on the map, since you brought it up, Dan, I want to give a couple shout outs. Okay. First off, my previous home state of Oregon, the theme there, or the saying, is keep Oregon weird. And by looking at their Halloween costumes, they're doing just that. Willy Wonka, one of the big ones.
Yeah, I love it.
In Oregon. Also, Ringmaster. No clue what that means.
That's sort of what I'm doing. It's just twisted.
Okay.
I don't really know what it means either, but I'll show you on Saturday.
In Eugene, they're dressing up as trolls. And Portland, vampires. That's pretty predictable. Also, lastly, I wanted to just highlight Alaska, people, because
Yes.
they have the most boring costumes.
Weird.
Hot dog in
Yeah.
Alaska. They have hot dog in Juneau, fish in Anchorage. Real original, guys. Real original. And then llama in Fairbanks. Shout out to Alaska for the costumes.
They need the full body costumes in Alaska, right? Because it's obviously cold up there. Maybe the hot dogs got that extra insulation or something. I've got one to shout out as well too, Chris. The little town of Mankato, Minnesota. You know how much I love Minnesota. We gave shouts to Minneapolis last week. That, if you can have trouble finding it, but the number 1 there it is, the loofah. Oh my God. Got one of the loofah in Minnesota. Maybe that's the same thing. It's just for insulation. It's like, what's the most covering costume I can be to be warm in Minnesota for Halloween?
Yeah,
the loofah.
That's great. I remember my friend Melissa was a loofah in college. And I thought it was like the best costume ever. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. I love this so much. What's Pittsburgh doing?
Pittsburgh's mermaid, man. Pittsburgh is that's the big one. Yeah, first I saw Two-Face when I scrolled over and I thought, oh boy. But mermaid for Pittsburgh.
Oh my gosh. This map is incredible. It's Google's Frightgeist. And they have all of the Halloween costumes in any random's place.
I'm surprised we need more like 2020 costumes for this.
Well, I asked you guys this, and then I'll ask you this right now. All right, so a guy in Iowa made a costume for his 12-year-old, and it was a Zoom screen costume. Hilarious. Very 2020. Can you guys think of any 2020 like costumes that just 2020 that you're like, this is a good one if you're trying to be ironic?
Yeah,
Yes.
for
I
this
think
year.
like maybe this might end up looking kind of like a loofah. I don't know what the loofah costume looks like, but like the I remember when coronavirus like first started happening, everybody was sharing around the same image of like that ball that was like a molecule with like all of the things
Mhm.
coming off of it, and like that's a COVID molecule. Um, I have to imagine some people would like have made their own COVID thing and like ran around being funny. But then again, like it's COVID, so you couldn't do that. But
Right.
that would probably be one.
I think, you've ever seen those, like, inflatable, bubble costumes where they, like you're supposed to you can, like, stand you don't go in it, not the hamster ball, but you're, like, in this inflatable bubble. It's more like a sumo type of suit where your legs and your head stick out. It just, like, surrounds your body. I think you just throw on an NBA jersey, you just throw on the LeBron James champs, home of the champs jersey in the bubble. You're just NBA in a bubble. That's what you are right there.
I like it.
That's really good. I was thinking this is gonna be this would have been a really big year for sexy Halloween costumes, and maybe these exist, but I just thought in my head like how easy it would be to just be sexy hand sanitizer. You just like print out a Purell sticker, put it on a tube top, wear your short skirt or whatever,
There you go.
and like at sexy COVID costume, like you just have like a red shirt and you make like a hat out of those things that like coming out of that ball. Like
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I just think there's so many things that like people are just like, you know what? I'm gonna be sexy coronavirus. I'm gonna be sexy this. Yeah. Like,
I think
people hate on the sexy costume. I'm a fan of the sexy costume.
yeah. See, it's a night to be whatever you want.
It's a
What I mean.
tradition.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the sexy costume.
I think there's a like the most original classic old Halloween costume of all time is just the sheet over your head to look like a ghost and you put the two circles in for your eyes or whatever. Well, just put it over your neck and just as a sheet and you're just going as a Clorox wipe. I mean, that's all you are. Just throw a Clorox label on and just go as a Clorox wipe. It's cheap. Just a white sheet. You're good to go.
That's a good costume, Dan. I feel like you should actually be that for
Maybe I'll change
Halloween.
it up. Maybe do a costume change in the middle on Halloween. Go as a Clorox wipe.
I wonder if you could also have some type of costume where like in front of you, behind you, and to the sides, there's like 6 feet of like something just like sticking out from you to make sure nobody
Right,
comes.
just some sort of 6-foot boundary.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. This is a big. I feel like this is just a good year to make fun of costumes. I think a lot of people are going to have some things on Instagram. It's gonna be a big weekend of looking at what random people come together with on Instagram. Well, guys, enough about the costumes. Maybe enough about Halloween. I don't know what you guys have on your playlist. I don't know what you guys have been listening to this week, but let's get into it. What we are listening to. Chris, get us started. What are you listening to?
Cool. Yeah. I don't have any Halloween themed music, but I have some new stuff. Mxpx is, just an all time pop punk band, and they released an album of acoustic songs. Their lead singer, Mike Herrera, he's got just like a quintessential pop punk voice, and it's an EP album called Life in Quarantine. He just took some of their greatest hits and did acoustic versions of them, and it was really cool to hear. And I think what I might do, I haven't picked out the songs yet, but I think I might put one of the acoustic versions and then also put the full band version, so both of them are on there and you can hear the difference between the two songs. But it was cool to hear from Mxpx, man. They're like one of my childhood favorite bands, and they do a lot of stuff on social media but hadn't released much new music in the last few years, so it was cool to see that. So something from their album Life in Quarantine put on there.
Dan, go. What are you listening to?
This week, I don't have any Halloween either, but I assure you Halloween is going to be on the list. The ones that I already mentioned, the Munsters theme is going to be on there, and definitely Adam Sandler Groove, thanks to you, Dee. But in addition to those, Millennium released a song this week with Tom DeLonge and Angels and Airwaves called Paper Thin. And I first saw that and I thought, whoa, this is a collaboration that I certainly didn't see coming. But oh boy, it works. It works real well. It's a really great EDM beat, which is just the standard now for Millennium and anything that they put out. Fantastic breakdowns throughout the song. And then Tom DeLonge's voice just works really well with this. Like I said, it was just surprising to think about that. But if you're a fan of pop punk music, Blink-182 and Tom DeLonge's voice, Angels and Airways, obviously, and a fan of EDM music, you're gonna like this either way. You're gonna find something to pull to. So Paper Thin from Millennium, Tom DeLonge, and Angels and Airways is a great one. That's for the playlist this week.
Feels like a long time since I've heard from Tommy Boy. That'll be good to listen to. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. You'll enjoy it.
Nice.
All right, I'm going with Jack Harlow put out, Jack Harlow of the song What's Poppin', put out a song called Tyler Hero, which is very ironic because he's a white rapper talking about a white NBA player. And but the song is super dope. It is the perfect song to listen to in your car. And it's just him just completely talking about himself. It's extremely cocky, it's extremely braggadocious, and it's already being posted from, because it's the first line in the song. He says, most of the people that hate me look just like me. Tell me what that mean. And a lot of athletes have already started like posting that, that phrase, and a lot of people have done it already, but the song is just super dope. So and I kind of like Jack Harlow, not exactly a lot, but this song is great. So check it out. Jack Harlow, Tyler Hero.
Nice.
I like it.
I got a little bit of Mayday Parade for the playlist this week. That's another band I haven't heard from in a while, and they have a new EP out. So gonna put their song First Train on the playlist from their new EP, and I'm also gonna put an old Mayday Parade song, Jamie All Over, which in my opinion is just one of the greatest pop punk songs ever written. So I'm going to, with Mayday Parade, do the same thing as Mxpx, do a double dose of the new and the old. But it was cool just to get some new music from those guys. So I'm excited to put that on there this week.
Yeah, I love them. I love that pick, Chris. I'm going to go with one of my favorite bands of all time. Chris loves them as well. Paris, a.k.a. Pervervis, as he likes to say. They released a deluxe version of their album Use Me, which came out earlier this summer. That 5 new songs are 4 remixes, really good remixes actually, of some originals on that album, and then one brand new one called Thank You, featuring Ray. If you're familiar with Paris at all, if you're looking for Halloween songs, the White Noise album, some of that older stuff fits you there. But this newer stuff, obviously they've taken a bit of a turn, and it's great. More pop electro type of feel from this entire album, and this song especially. Great vocals from Lynn in this song, and a great bass line that really drives the chorus in that. So again, they're getting really into more of that electronic feel, pop type of category, with those like Paris elements that you can still find in there. So Thank You from Paris, really good one for this week.
Sweet. Love Paris. Good live show, Paris.
Yeah.
Good live show. All right. I got one here. A new artist. His name is Young Blue. I believe that's how you say his name. The song's called Your Mind Still, and it's featuring Drake, and it's on Drake's label as well. So this is a signee from Drake, and the song is really, really good. And it seems like Drake just put out a thing. He's got an album coming out in January is when his album's coming out. But anyways, he features in the song, and it's really good. It's just kind of got like an island vibe to it. Drake's mostly singing on it, and Young Blue has a really cool voice. So we'll see what happens. I feel like this happens with Drake a lot, where he finds somebody that he thinks is really talented, and he hops on their track, and the song blows up, but then they don't exactly blow up because they might not be as talented as we thought. But this song, we'll see what happens. But this song is just really good. So yeah, Your Mind Still by Young Blue.
Nice.
I like it.
Okay. Playlist review. Totally forgot why we put The Weeknd on the playlist. And then Kenny G kicked in at the end. I was like, oh yeah, that's why we put The Weeknd back on the playlist. That was awesome.
Dude, how fire.
It's so good.
It's just,
so good.
God.
Yeah. Kenny G came in and saved 2020 for all of us. Lonely by Justin Bieber. That's a real song, man. It's really good, but it's very real. And great to hear Nelly and Kelly Rowland, How often do you get that?
Wellsburg Apple Festival.
That's another one where I was playing it when I was working out, and I was like, where did this come from? Totally forgot that we put it And this week, our retro replacement is going to be Kanye, Love Lockdown, because I saw he was on Rogan. Did either of you guys listen or watch Kanye on Joe Rogan?
I have not got the. I will.
Yet.
You will. You know, I will at some point. I can't. I haven't been able to like. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but I just haven't got up to the point to do it yet. But I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I knew we'd be doing Halloween on the show this week, so I was like, I'll listen to it before next week.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 3 hours long, so strap in.
Yeah,
it's quite a bit. It's interesting. I listened to some of it, and he discusses running for president again. I don't know. It is interesting to listen to Kanye talk about the way his mind works. So that was it. But anyway, I put Kanye on the playlist because he re-entered my life on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I thought, well, let's put him on our playlist too.
I like it.
Nice.
Love Lockdown. God.
Nice.
Great song. Great song.
Last one I got is from B. Miller. I put a single of hers that she dropped a couple of weeks ago, but the album came out, a new album called Elated. The whole album is really great, and it gets you a good sense of where she's going and the style that she's moving towards. Super talented girl. I feel like she's got still a long career ahead of her. So jump on the train if you haven't already. But I'm going to put the song Forever Is a Lie on this on the playlist. It's an anti-love song. So the lyrics are pretty hard hitting and real, but it's still very hip and catchy song. Just some of those lyrics just catch you off guard a little bit, but really is true to the title with Forever Is a Lie. So B. Miller back on the playlist this week.
I like B. Miller a lot. I like B. Miller a lot. And I went, and when you had her on when you talked about her on a couple podcasts ago, mm-hmm. I was like, I'm mad I didn't say this. So I'm going to say it now. If you think Billie Eilish is weird, okay, and you're like, I don't get it. I don't get what they're trying to do. Listen to B. Miller. You'll like it. Because she's literally a more structured Billie Eilish. That's really what it is. It's like taking what Billie is doing that is like weird, and they're trying all these new stuff, and like B. Miller makes it more centralized and sound probably more better in your ears, in like your trained ear. It's like just structured.
Dude, I love that. Yeah. I love that take. That's spot on. That's great. That's a great point.
Yeah. So B. Miller, good pick there. And then last one here, just name drop. Interviewed Luke Combs last week. You can see the interview at Radio Disney Country and on my social medias as well. He put out his deluxe album, What You See Ain't Always What You Get. And there's a song on there. All 5 of the new songs are really good, but this song called Cold As You is so great because the thing I love about Luke Combs is he has this way of making you feel like you are on the porch with him, talking about whatever the hell's going on with him. And it's like Cold As You is just sounds like 3 dudes doing a podcast talking about this girl that just dumped one of you. And it's super funny and it's super great. And Cold As You. And he's talking because the Cold As You is this beer that he's drinking isn't as cold as you. So it's pretty, but it's a great song. It's a jam. And I'm telling you, when you listen to it, you'll just be like, yes, I understand what he means. This is like, you feel like you're just on the porch throwing some back with your boys after, one of you got dumped. So it's pretty great.
All
Luke
right,
Combs,
nice.
Cold As You.
Okay, cool.
I like it.
Well, boys, Dan, do you have any other 6 songs you want to add real quick?
I got no. I had to make a cut. It was hard. I do have more, but we're gonna put some Halloween ones on there as well to mix it up. I'll save those for next week.
All right. Well,
Beaver
just want to make sure you have time, Dan.
I appreciate it.
All right. Well, that has been the Brunch Breakdown. Dan, let us know where everybody can find all of the things Brunch Breakdown.
Yes, of course. Find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Again, anywhere that you find podcasts, search for the Brunch Breakdown. You will find us there. You can also find the full video episodes. So you can get all the wonderful facial reactions and arguments that we have with each other in person right there on the screen, available on YouTube and on our Facebook page, released midday, same day that the podcast gets released. Of course, you can find everything you need regarding the Brunch Breakdown on our social media pages. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram at Brunch Breakdown. You follow us, we follow you back, of course.
Well, thank you for listening to the Candy Corn Breakdown. We'll talk to you guys next week. Happy Halloween.